The Aghori bows only to the self. Now this is not pride, it's not rebellion, and it's certainly not ego. This is truth. And you see, truth does not bend before illusions, before idols, or before the masks that society wears in the name of God. The Aghori bows to no one because he has recognized the only one worth bowing to, the self that is beyond body, beyond mind, beyond name. In the serene environment of meditation, we often find ourselves juxtaposed with the images of societal structures and religious symbols. These are the illusions that surround us. In the cremation ground where names fade and faces rot, the Aghori sits still. Around him the world sees death. But within, he sees life unfolding in its rawest, most unfiltered form. He does not run from it. He does not hide behind rituals. He enters the fire, the decay, the silence, and from that he draws strength. Because when the outer world burns away, only the self remains. You have been taught to bow to gods carved in stone, to leaders built on lies, to rules rooted in fear. But the Aghori has broken all idols. He has stepped over all boundaries, not because he is wild, but because he is free. True freedom begins when you stop searching outside and turn inward. That is why the Aghori bows only to the self. The self is not the body. The body, well, it will decay. The Aghori smears himself with ash to remember this. Everything you cherish, everything you paint and decorate will return to dust. So what then is real? The Aghori asks not with words, but with his life. He sleeps beside corpses, not to shock the world, but to remind it. This too is you. One day you will lie breathless, and all your beliefs, your pride, your name will burn. The Aghori sees what most deny, and in facing that truth, he bows to the only thing that cannot be burned, the self. He walks naked not just in body but in being. He has shed all layers of falsehood. There is no shame in him because shame is a social costume. He wears no costume. He has seen himself without titles, without attachments. And when he saw, he recognized, Shiva is not somewhere in the sky. Shiva is this awareness. Shiva is this breath. Shiva is the self. An Aghori walking naked in nature, shedding layers of clothing and social constructs. And so, the Aghori bows. Not to a god in a temple, but to the fire within his own being. He bows when he eats from a skull, not to the skull, but to the hunger that reminds him he is still in the body. He bows to the wind, to the ash, to the silence, not because they are divine, but because they reflect the self in forms the world fears to accept. He does not pray for miracles. He does not beg for blessings. He does not ask for forgiveness. The Aghori knows there is nothing to be forgiven. The self is untouched by karma, sin, virtue, or vice. These are concepts of the mind. The self is beyond them. It is the eternal witness, the silence behind all sound, the watcher of the watcher. When the Aghori bows, he is not worshipping a deity. He is acknowledging the fire of awareness within, the same fire that watches birth and death, gain and loss, pain and pleasure. This is the supreme guru, the self. All other teachers are shadows of this light. The Aghori sees no difference between himself and the divine, and so he does not worship. He dissolves. You ask, how can a man live among the dead and call that sacred? The Aghori will tell you, it is the only place where truth is not hidden. The body decays, emotions fade, thought dissolves. What remains? That is what he bows to. The unchanging, the unmoving, the untouched core of being. The Aghori lives among the dead, meditating and, finding truth in decay. The world worships out of fear. The Aghori bows in reverence, not out of need, but out of realization. He bows because he sees the same self in the beggar, in the corpse, in the dog, in the wind. He does not look up or down. He looks within and sees the same flame burning in all. He does not run from darkness. He enters it. Because he knows the self is not light or dark, it is the source of both. What you reject, he embraces. What you fear, he studies. What you call dirty, he touches with reverence. Because the Aghori understands, the self is not pure or impure. The self is what watches both purity and impurity rise and fall like waves in an endless ocean. So when the Aghori bows, he is not submitting. He is honoring. Honoring the only truth that never changes. The only presence that was there before birth and will remain after death. The self. In silence, the Aghori bows, honoring the unchanging truth that lies beneath all things. And if you ask him, "Who is your God?" he will smile gently, touch his chest and say, "The one who watches, the one who burns but is never burned, the one who sees through my eyes. That is who I bow to." And in that moment you will understand the Aghori bows only to the self, and that self is also in you, waiting to be seen, waiting to be remembered, waiting to be bowed to.